Hello, reading friends. I'm so glad you are back in the Happy Place to Grow with me, Mrs. Davis, where we are enjoying almost officially summer, but we know that reading and enjoying good books is definitely part of our everyday summer, winter, spring. It doesn't matter the season or the weather. We are always thinking about learning, growing, and enjoying a good story. Now, in our last video, we were doing some summer dreaming with Little Cloud by Eric Carle, which inspired me to want to learn more about clouds. You know, I love taking a fiction story and discovering totally true facts because there are real objects in the sky called clouds. This was a fiction story, a make-believe story about a little cloud, but I know that clouds are real. So I thought I would do a little research. Even though it's almost summer, I can keep my learning growing and going, and so can you. I'm going to share with you a few facts about clouds. Now think for just a minute while you're in your little sitting mode, quiet. What do you know about clouds? What do you already know? Now, if you're in second grade, I do believe definitely in North Carolina, second graders learn about the different types of clouds. However, when I was teaching school, I was in first grade and we didn't really study clouds. So I'm glad that you're with me and we're going to learn some cloud facts. So I looked up some information and I found out that not all clouds are created equal. Clouds have different shapes, obviously. Clouds have different names. Yeah, we can get into some real science when we're studying clouds. In fact, I've got this whole stack of different types of clouds. I'm going to do some quick reading and learning with you about clouds. So think for a minute, what do you already know about clouds? And then get ready to learn some new facts. I definitely did. Reading glasses on for this one. Cloud number 1. Here's our little fact sheet. I love that in bold, it has the name. You know, when you're learning nonfiction, you've got lots of different pieces of information you've got to navigate through. So here's the title, the name of the cloud. Here's a description of the cloud, and then down here, a fun fact. So your learning can be quick and easy. Now look at the picture of this is a real photo of this type of cloud. Have you seen these in the sky before? I definitely have. They're called cumulus clouds. Appearance, they're puffy, cotton-like clouds with a flat base. So you can see they're puffy, but as they float through the sky, the bottom is flat. It says cumulus clouds are often seen on nice days. Well, that's good. In fact, today at my house, it's a nice day, and I see them outside. They look like fluffy pillows and usually don't bring rain. They can get bigger and turn into other types of clouds. So clouds move and can morph into bigger clouds, which change shapes and do different things. Let's find out what the fun fact says. The word cumulus comes from a Latin word that means heap or pile. Well, that makes sense if it's a fluffy cloud, which is a good way to describe how these clouds look. I love that. Cloud number 1. Cloud number 2 is called a stratus cloud. Stratus. Let's take a look at the photo of a stratus cloud. Have you seen clouds like that in the sky before? I have. Appearance. These look flat gray. They're flat gray clouds that cover the sky like a blanket. So they're more close together. They're flat, and they probably cover most of the blue sky in the day. Stratus. Stratus clouds are low in the sky, and they bring overcast skies. They can bring light rain or drizzle, but not usually. So when you see these, it's going to be mostly a gray day. We call that mostly cloudy. We call it overcast because you can still sort of see the sun. There's a lot of light, but mostly the clouds are covering. So it's not as bright sun. Do you like those kind of days? Sometimes I do. Fun fact, the word stratus comes from a Latin word that means spread out. I love that. Which is exactly what these clouds do. Hey, but there's more. That's just cloud 2, cloud 3. Now some of these cloud names are interesting, and I have to think about how to sound them out. So I'm going to do my best. Nimbostratus clouds. Whoa. Those are definitely a type of stratus. They're gray and dark. Do you think that these nimbostratus clouds probably bring storms? I think so. Let's find out the description of what they look like. They're thick, dark clouds that cover the sky. That's definitely a good photo. Nimbostratus clouds are usually gray and bring steady, continuous rain. And we've had that here in North Carolina the last couple of days. So little did I know the rain was coming from nimbostratus, but now I know, and you do too. They can make the day feel gloomy and wet, and that's exactly what North Carolina's been like the last couple of days. Fun fact, nimbo in nimbostratus means rain. I didn't know that. Nimbo means rain. So nimbostratus means clouds often bring steady, rainy weather. I love how the words, the names of the clouds, are really telling as to what they are. That's smart naming on the scientists' part, whoever named them, the weather people. Here's another really long cloud name. Ooh, those look really billowy and puffy, like a big cloud bed but you can't. If you try to get into this cloud, you're going to fall straight through. It looks like a big puffball that you could just lay on, but you can't because clouds are just water pulled together. Cumulonimbus clouds. Cumulonimbus clouds. Wow, I'm glad I braved and tried to sound that one out. Appearance, huge towering clouds with flat tops that look like an anvil. So an anvil would be like, maybe it goes like sort of peaked up. That's a really beautiful cloud though, isn't it? Cumulonimbus, I'm probably just not saying that right. Clouds are very big and can bring thunderstorms because, they're filled with a lot of moisture. They don't look threatening, but because there's so much moisture in that big cloud, I guess it could bring heavy rain. They have lightning, thunder, and heavy rain. Sometimes they bring hail, which are ice balls, and tornadoes. So, just looking at that cloud, I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful, fluffy looking. I would never guess that could bring such dangerous weather. I'm definitely glad we are filtering through and learning about clouds today. Fun fact, cumulonimbus clouds are like giants of the cloud family. They can grow as tall as Mount Everest. So they can be just so huge like a mountain. I didn't know that either. I love these fun facts. Let's check out another cloud. Altostratus clouds. That one's easier to say. Ooh, that looks beautiful and wispy. Appearance, gray or blue clouds that cover the sky. So a lot of cloud cover with these. Altostratus clouds are found higher in the sky. They often come before a storm and bring continuous steady rain. Wow, I would have never guessed that this cloud would bring storms and heavy rain. Interesting. Definitely a lot to discover about clouds. Let's find out about the fun fact. Alto in altostratus means high. And we know they're way up, high in the sky. Yeah. These clouds are higher up in the sky compared to some others. Here's another alto, but it's alto cumulus clouds. So that was an alto stratus. This is alto cumulus. So I would say if alto means high in the sky, because that's what this said, these are also high in the sky. So these are high, and they do look like they're way high up. I'm learning that this part of the word, because I've discovered it in altostratus, means high. So these have to be a type of cloud that are high in the sky also. Let's discover more. I'm so glad we're learning together. Appearance, white or gray clouds that are puffy and rounded. Do you think they bring rain? Let's find out. Altocumulus clouds are higher up. We knew that already because of the word alto. And usually don't bring rain. Good. They make the sky look pretty with their fluffy patterns. What do you think? Do you agree? Is that beautiful? I think all of the clouds in the sky have different types of beauty. Fun fact, altocumulus clouds can sometimes look like a field of fluffy sheep floating in the sky. Do you spy any cloud pictures in that bunch of clouds? Do you think that they look like sheep? You know what? We have several more clouds. Wow, who knew? I didn't. Stratocumulus. Beautiful. That's definitely some fluffy clouds. Let's find out. Low, so that's why alto is not in the name. Low gray clouds with lumpy or a weavy look. Kind of like most of the clouds, like I think of clouds, they're kind of lumpy and they have like waves to them. Stratocumulus clouds are low in the sky and can cover it like a blanket. What a great description. Sometimes I'm really thankful for the clouds because if the sun is so hot, you love a little bit of cloud cover. It gives you a break in the summer. Especially like if you're at the beach for a long time. Stratocumulus clouds are low in the sky, can cover it like a blanket. They might bring a little drizzle, but not a heavy rain. Definitely a summer break from the hot. Fun fact, stratocumulus clouds can sometimes look like a cozy blanket covering the sky. I love how they describe, even though we're getting facts, we're also getting the description. Does that feel like a nice, cozy, white, soft blanket to you? It definitely looks that way to me. Great description. Science and vocabulary. Wow, we're really learning. Oh, this is interesting. Look at that cloud. It looks like a giant, what would you say? A bird. I was thinking the same thing. This an eagle head, wings. You could almost say too, it looks like an airplane, maybe even an angel. Let your imagination run wild. Let's see, this is the one I had trouble with, and I got it before. Lenticular clouds. Lenticular clouds. Hey, I'm learning too. Here's what lenticular clouds look like. They're shaped like a lens or a saucer, thus the name lens. Lenticular clouds are often seen near mountains. They are formed by winds going over the mountains and can look quite unique. So here, I don't live around any mountains, so I wouldn't probably see these, but if I go toward the Blue Ridge Mountains, I might definitely spy for these kind of clouds. Lenticular. Lenticular clouds are often seen near mountains and are like special clouds that love to play around tall peaks. Cool. I never heard of that type of cloud. And I want to say I've maybe probably never seen that type of cloud, or I've not paid attention. But the next time I head to the mountains, I will definitely check out and watch for lenticular clouds. Cirrus clouds. Ooh, those are wispy. Let's find out about cirrus clouds. Well, they're thin and wispy clouds high in the sky that look like feathers or horsetails. Great description. That look feathery to you? It's definitely wispy. Cirrus clouds are very high up in the atmosphere. That's up in the sky. I love that word, atmosphere. And are made of ice crystals. Wow, interesting. That's because they're so high up. It's cooler up in the upper atmosphere. It's very cold sometimes. And so because clouds are made of moisture, liquid water, the higher up, the water would become crystal or even probably snowy. They usually mean fair weather, but they can also signal that a change in weather is coming. There we go. Fun fact, cirrus clouds are so high up that they're made of ice crystals instead of water droplets. And that's all clouds are, a bunch of water droplets. Sometimes they're very close together, sometimes they're spread out. And if they gather so close together and fill up, they're going to come down. Precipitation. Now, this final one might surprise you because you might not think of this as a cloud, but it's definitely in the cloud family. What do you think it might be? It's on the ground. It's low on the ground. Sometimes I come out in the morning and I walk through it. And they say if it's thick, they say it's like pea soup. And they say it's so thick you could cut it with a knife. Wonder what it is. What kind of cloud is this? Aha. Did you guess fog? Yeah, fog is a cloud that's way low to the ground. Clouds that touch the ground, making it hard to see. That's what it looks like, its appearance. Fog is like a cloud that's on the ground. It happens when the air is cool and moist and makes everything look misty. So if you've ever went through fog, you've walked through a cloud. You did, and you didn't even know it probably. Fun fact, fog is like a cloud that comes down to visit us on the ground. It's like walking through a cloud. How fun is that? Wow. We've had some much learning about clouds. We've learned about the cumulus clouds, stratus, nimbostratus, stormy, cumulonimbus, oh, tongue twister cloud, cumulonimbus clouds, altostratus clouds, which I learned alto means very high up. New learning for me, altocumulus, high up, but a different kind of cloud. Stratocumulus, lenticular clouds, which are by mountains, because they're created by those air drafts that go over mountains. Cirrus clouds, wispy, feathery. And then clouds on the ground called fog. Wow, I have enjoyed learning about clouds. I loved our adventure with Little Cloud, our fiction story, and then I loved discovering fun facts about real clouds. I want you to continue your summer dreaming. Look up and see what kind of clouds you can spy. Maybe you can go online and find out the names of the clouds and their appearance like I did. And then every day, keep a cloud journal. What kind of clouds are you seeing today? Are there clouds when you start your day out? Or is the sky blue? But over time, in the middle of the day, some different clouds come through because you know the earth is always moving. So clouds are always moving too. And the sky changes over time in the day, throughout the day. So be a cloud spyer and a cloud learner. Keep track of what types of clouds you're seeing every day. And hey, maybe you can even work on this with your family and your friends. All right, summer dreamers, I want you to join me for some more summer fun stories. Let's keep the learning going and keep our eyes spying on the skies. All right. Hey, I'm headed out to see what kind of clouds are floating by my house. It looks very cloud covered right now. So I'm definitely thinking, the clouds that are really covering the sky, maybe the stratus, flat gray clouds that, yeah, it looks a little stratus cloudy outside my window. What's it look like outside yours? Go have a cloud adventure and I'll see you real soon.